everyone, it's Renee here. Some of you may have noticed in one of my last videos where I was making some embellishments that they went a little bit wonky. So I thought in order to correct that kind of problem, I'll make myself a little grid so that when I'm putting the embellishments down, I can keep them aligned. So we now have this grid as a freebie in the shop. It's 2 pages. It's a 1 centimetre grid and a 1 inch grid, but depending on your printer settings and paper size, it might be a little off. So loosely 1 centimetre, 1 inch. And I'd like to use these today to make a couple of embellishments and see if they are just as wonky. I was using it to make all of these earlier, which I was having fun with, so I thought we might make a couple of these. Let's begin. I'm going to use the small grid to start with. I'm going to turn it this way too, because I'm going to start by making a like a collage strip. So let's pick a colour. So I've got a bunch of green elements here, and I'm just going to pick one to be the focus element. So like this flower, for example. Okay, let's trim it out and see how it looks. I'm just using the grid lines so I know where to cut, making sure that I can see a little bit of colour along the whole edge, otherwise move it over just a smidge. Same on this side. I'm just going to go in a fraction to make sure I get it all, like that. Hello, Buggy. Hold on, sweetie, I'm using the blade. Using the blade. You gonna sit there? I can work over here if you sit there. You're not gonna... No, no, no. Food time? Alright. Come on. We'll finish this in a sec. Cut this off here. Cut this off here. And let's ink. Alright, I really like that. Colours work well together. So that's one of those. Let's now do one of those free-form embellishments using this to line up all the different bits. So let's go purple this time. I think the grid worked really well for this. I didn't get anything that was far too wonky, nor have I needed to replace anything once it's cut, so it's a win for that too. Alright, happy with that. Let me show you one last thing that I had an idea that we could do with it. I will do it with the 1-inch one because I've run out of the other one. Oh, I've only got little bits left, which I will use for little embellishments. I want to make a tag, and so what I'm going to do is 3 boxes in, I'm going to fold my paper over like this. Okay, so I'm going to do a collage on this side. I'll put it on fast forward and I'll see you once the collage is complete. Alright, I'm going to consider that done. So what I want to do now is flip it over. And I know I've got to cut it on all the edges, just a touch, a smidge in on each line. I'm going to leave this for now because I don't want it to separate yet. So I'm going to cut here. And here. And here. It's just flipping over to make sure that that's good. That still looks good to me. Now I'm going to use the grid to make the tag corners. So obviously on the smaller grid you can make a smaller corner. Alright, and then I might as well do it this way up for the last cut so I can see what I'm doing. Ta-da. There we have a tag. Now if you're unhappy with the angle, you can always trim a little bit more off, like that, just to bring it down a bit. But I like that, and it worked well, and that was easy to put together without measuring anything and planning anything. years back. So I'm happy with that, and I could use this other piece. I'd collage on this side, on the back, and then I can just trim it off again that way. Or if I really wanted the grid, I'd collage on this side, and you'd see, you know, when you've glued things on that overhang, where to cut it off from the other side. So it really doesn't matter, whatever you find easier. No need to waste, but yeah, I'm happy with that. That's a cute tag, and you can, because I've printed the grid on thin paper, you can see through it. If you're worried about that, just print it on a slightly thicker paper, and you won't be able to see through it, or back your tag on like some tea dyed paper or something. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I hope that helps. Go to the shop and grab the grid freebie. It's just free and it's useful. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.